Imagine waking tomorrow with a mind so clear that in just 10 minutes you are able to decide how you want to live your day, and not simply endure it. In the next 14 minutes, you will leave with a simple morning protocol to armor your character, filter out the people who drain you, and transform your blows into a method. This is not some pleasant theory. If you apply what you are about to hear today, in 1 week you will notice more strategic calm, more control over your decisions, and less of other people's noise occupying your mind. Think about how you normally start your day. The alarm sounds. You grab your phone without thinking. You check messages, social media, your to-do list. Before you even get up, you are already reacting to requests, opinions, and stimuli that you do not control. Your mind fills with comparisons, small frictions, the expectations of others. You leave home with your body awake, but your character asleep. Then you wonder why you struggle to keep your calm at the office. It is not bad luck. It is a lack of inner hierarchy when you begin your morning. A scene from work. You arrive at the meeting. Your boss levels an unfair criticism in front of the team. You know it wasn't like that. You know someone else made the mistake. Yet you smile inwardly and lower your head outwardly. You stay silent to avoid conflict. You accept tasks that are not yours. You leave the room with a tightness in your chest and a brutal thought. Today, again, you were not true to yourself. What breaks you is not the criticism. It is the feeling of having betrayed yourself once again. A scene from a relationship. That special person always appears whenever they need something. When they feel lonely. When they are bored. They send you a cold message. They ask you for a favor. You rush to reply. You rearrange your schedule to see them. You put your own agenda second. When you are the one who needs a listening ear, they disappear. There is no message. There is no real interest. You tell yourself that perhaps they are busy. You invent excuses to avoid accepting the obvious. You cling to the connection and forget to check for compatibility. And every time you repeat that pattern, your self-respect lowers a little more. A scene of self-sabotage. You promise yourself you'll get up early to train, read, or meditate. You set the alarm an hour earlier. The night before, you feel enthusiastic. You imagine changing your life. Morning arrives. The alarm sounds. Your finger moves faster than your discipline. You snooze for 5 minutes. Then 10. Then 20. Again, you leave in a hurry. Without calm. Without a method. That small daily betrayal weighs more than any great failure, because it reminds you that your word to yourself is worth little. In all these scenarios, there is a common denominator. You have handed over the steering wheel of your day to others' emotions, to automatic habits, and to excuses you already know by heart. You speak of character, but you are governed by impulse. You say you want calm, but you feed the chaos from the very first hour. And the truth is uncomfortable. You cannot have serenity if you live by justifying what robs you of it. You cannot build inner armor if every day you open the door to what wounds you. Here comes your first act of training. If this message has already stirred something within you, leave a visible seal. Write the word firmness in the comment. Just that. Firmness. Let it be your public reminder that today you decide to stop justifying what breaks you and start looking at it with clarity. Now, let's get to the heart of the method. The ancient sages had a simple rule. Do not believe in words. Observe actions. People show who they are when they no longer need anything from you. When there is no benefit. When no one is applauding. when there is no pressure or reward. That is where character is seen. The constant presence, the coherent gesture, the way someone behaves when the spotlight is not on them. This observation does not make you hard. It makes you free. It allows you to relate to others from a place of reality, not fantasy. The same applies to you. Your true character is not seen when you are being watched. It is seen when no one is observing you, and yet you still mind your conduct. When you do the right thing without applause. When you hold a healthy boundary without drama. When you work in silence instead of talking about what you will someday do. This silent coherence is your armor. It makes no noise, but it upholds your self-respect. Every time you choose discipline in private, your mind understands the message. Inner hierarchy rules here, not the whim of the moment. Pain is another of your trainers. You don't like to hear it, but you know it is true. The blow you still remember came to show you something your pride did not want to see. That breakup you thought was unfair taught you that you were begging for crumbs where you deserved dignified treatment. That betrayal that shattered you from within revealed that you had ignored signs for months. That professional failure that left you breathless showed you that you were maintaining a pace you could not sustain. Pain does not arrive to humiliate you. It arrives to show you where you need to put your life in order. Here, the central principle of this script comes into play. You do not control what others do. You do not control every turn of life. But you can always choose 3 internal movements: to see with clarity, to accept without drama, to act from character. To see with clarity means to stop sugarcoating behaviors, to look at the relationship that does not sustain you, to observe the job that destroys your dream, to recognize the habit that steals your strength. To accept without drama is to stop denying what you feel, to admit that you are hurt, that you are afraid, that you are tired, without making yourself a victim. Just being honest. To act from character is to move in the direction you know is necessary, even if your mood does not accompany you. If you feel this way of training your mind aligns with what you seek, this channel is your home. We do not sell cheap self-esteem here. Here we train method, discipline, and self-respect. If you want to walk this path with me, subscribe now and stay. Only the people who are tired of excuses and ready to truly build an inner hierarchy remain. Let's return to the method. What you deny masters you. What you accept frees you. As long as you keep hiding emotions under busyness and screens, you will continue to react like a child in an adult's body. You get angry over details. You overreact to minimal comments. You remain hooked on people who have already left you on the inside. Instead, when you sit for a moment and say internally, "This is what I feel," the burden begins to lighten. You don't have to justify it, nor decorate it, just see it. Acceptance is not resignation. It is the first step to moving with intelligence. Think of the heavy bag you drag along without ever checking its content. Each stone is an old guilt, an inherited fear, a role you took on to please others. As long as you don't open the bag, you will believe the weight comes from the path. Perhaps you will blame your job, your past, your environment. The day you sit with yourself and review what you carry inside, you discover something simple. Not all that weight is necessary. There are stories you can let go of. There are expectations that no longer make sense. There are battles you are fighting merely out of habit. Here, another piece of the method comes in. Filter what you consume. I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about words, content, conversations. Everything you let into your mind becomes the building material for your character. If all day you listen to complaints, comparisons, and drama, you end up looking at your life through the same filter. If your morning begins with news that only shows disaster, your body is predisposed to fear. If you share your time with someone who only comes to unload their chaos, your serenity slowly erodes. Imagine your mind as a city and you as its guardian. If you let just anything in, disorder will be inevitable. If you choose carefully, if you close the door to unnecessary noise, that city begins to find order. Suddenly, you value silence. You seek conversations that add value. You consume content that strengthens your strategic calm. You realize that you do not need so much noise to feel alive. You need more presence, more focus, more mastery. Another key point: life does not reward the one who wishes, but the one who acts. You can fill your morning with beautiful phrases, but if you do not lift a finger, nothing changes. A dream without action becomes frustration. Intention without discipline becomes permanent self-sabotage. The mind seeks excuses. I don't have time. I don't know where to start. I'm not ready. I'll try when I have more clarity. The reality is simple. Clarity appears while you are walking, not before you begin. That is why profound change begins when you get tired of your own excuses. When you recognize yourself in the mirror and admit without adornment that you could do more with what you have. That your morning does not become disordered on its own. That your choices count. That no one is coming to rescue your discipline. Total responsibility may be frightening at first, but later it becomes a relief. If you are part of the problem, you are also part of the solution. You no longer depend on everything outside of you to change. You focus on the one thing you can manage, your conduct today. Now, let's ground this in a concrete protocol for your next morning. You will need 60 seconds upon waking. Nothing more. When the alarm sounds, do not touch your phone. Stay still for a moment. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Do it 3 times. That gesture marks the first victory of the day. Then, ask yourself 3 clear questions. What do I want to protect today? What must I accept today? What small, disciplined action can I complete today, even if I don't feel like it? Do not look for perfect answers. Choose one simple idea for each question. Then get up and demonstrate with one action that you are taking yourself seriously. It could be making your bed with attention. It could be showering without checking your phone. It could be writing down on a piece of paper the attitude you decide to uphold for the day. Think about this. If you are not capable of governing your first 5 minutes, how do you expect to maintain strategic calm in an intense work argument or a complicated conversation with your partner? Serenity is your ultimate advantage in the midst of chaos. It is not passivity. It is mastery. Imagine that discussion at the office that usually throws you off center. A colleague speaks to you with a sharp tone. Your old pattern would be to respond at the same level, to raise your voice, to get hooked. With this training, you decide otherwise. You breathe. You listen. You respond only to the facts. You set a boundary with respect. You remove yourself from the situation as soon as the conversation ceases to be useful. Perhaps the other person will think you gave in. In reality, you chose to preserve your calm, which is worth more than any small victory for the ego. Now think of the relationship we mentioned earlier. the person who appears when it is convenient for them. From a place of Stoic clarity, you no longer get trapped in the emotion of the moment. You observe their actions. You notice the patterns. You recognize how much you are betraying yourself. One day, you decide to respond differently. Instead of rushing to accommodate them, you calmly reply that you cannot today, that you have other commitments, that your time has value too. There is no drama, no attack. There is inner hierarchy. Suddenly, you see who remains when you no longer offer total availability. There lies the truth. And look again at your self-sabotage with the alarm clock. This time, when your mind begs for 5 more minutes, you remember that you do not negotiate your word to yourself. You sit up in bed, feet on the floor. You breathe. You get up. It does not feel heroic. It feels stable. That micro-decision is worth more than any speech about change. Because every time you keep your word to yourself, you reinforce a silent message. Here, discipline rules over comfort. I leave you with a question to work on after hearing this script. If today you could change only one small but concrete behavior, what would it be? Do not seek perfection. Seek honesty. The rest will come with repetition. To close, I want you to remember something. You do not need everyone to understand this path. You need to be true to yourself. There will be those who see exaggeration where you see self-respect. There will be those who confuse your calm with coldness. There will be those who interpret your strategic withdrawal as defeat. It does not matter. Your task is not to convince the world. Your task is to live awake, with character, with method, with mastery of your inner world. This video is just one step in a series. You have trained for a morning with more clarity, more focus, and more self-respect. In the next chapter, we will work on a 90-second protocol to cut off nocturnal rumination before sleep, order your mind, and arrive at rest with strategic calm instead of mental exhaustion. If you do not want to continue living your nights at war with yourself, do not miss it. Here we continue building, day by day, the inner hierarchy that will allow you to walk steadily through any storm.